Yeah, guys, everyone's still talking about President Trump's new tariffs and how they're impacting the economy. But Trump defended them by saying sometimes you have to take medicine to fix something. RFK Jr. heard and was like, then why did you hire me?
I guess that's trying. Does that even count as trying? That didn't get very close, did it? Do they still give out awards, or have they stopped that? You see, the Democrat member of the House of Representatives, she basically said it out loud that really we need illegal aliens because in the minds of the Democrats, they've replaced slaves. The new slavery for the Democrat Party, you know, they're the old party of slavery. And wait till you hear this, because, you know, anybody in the crowd out here, you're gonna be picking cotton? Say, they're really unaware of the world we live in. The patriarchy has developed machinery for all of that. Really amazing devices, thanks to men, you know, that have invented these machines. Hence the patriarchy and all that. Yes, well, a very good Tuesday to you, and welcome back once again. We remain at 888-630-9625. The Supreme Court weighing in last night. A victory for President Trump and the Trump administration. Chief Justice John Roberts weighing in. And interesting things going on in the Supreme Court and the courts more broadly. The Democrats, they love abusing government. That's what they believe government is here for. It's here to be abused. They're just the people to do it, too. And if you need slaves, the Democrat Party is the party for you. Yes, they are. President Trump was all over the television again yesterday, and so we have a number of sound bites of President Trump talking about communist China, and he's with Benjamin Netanyahu. I don't call him Bibi because we didn't go to camp together. We're not fishing buddies, but people do call him Bibi. Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, the great and extraordinary Prime Minister of the great state of Israel. I'm a Zionist, you know, which means I'm not allowed at a lot of Democrat dinner tables, including Jewish Democrat dinner tables, because, you know, they're not Zionists. What are they? They're pro-Hamas. They like Hamas. They're pro-Iran. The Ayatollah thanks them for being who they are. They'd rather hang out with the Houthis, and the Houthis would rather hang them out from trees, which is kind of interesting, or throw them off of rooftops if you prefer. Remarkable things. The Democrat Party, they're on the side of illegal aliens. They're on the side of Venezuelan gangs like Tren de Aragua. The Democrat Party is on the side of Salvadoran gangs like MS-13. The Democrat Party is pro-Hamas and anti-Israel, chasing all of the Jews off of campus, students and faculty alike. And then they call everybody else Nazis. No sense of irony. These people, something wrong with their brains. They love the Houthis because, you know, the patriarchy built a canal. We call it the Suez Canal. It's brilliant, genius. Just it saves trillions of everything. And it's thanks to the Europeans went in there and, hey, how about we build a canal through here? That'd save everybody a lot of trouble. And then the pirates, you know, the United States, we've been fighting these pirates going back to Thomas Jefferson in that area, you know, from the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli. Tripoli is not, it's actually Lebanon and not Libya, as you might think, but that's not important now. The Democrat Party on the wrong side of everything. Remember when Barack Obama used to say, on the wrong side of history? Wrong side of, he was on the wrong side of history every time he said it. It's the old Russian playbook again. Whatever they accuse you of is what they're actually doing. And Barack Obama, who the moment he arrived on the scene, he announced that was when the rise of the oceans began to slow, the rise of the ocean, because he had arrived. And he, with a capital H, is the leader of a death cult, a lunatic. Oh, yeah, speaking of which, we got death cult stories for today, too. But one of the most amazing stories today is a study that has come out, And you might be surprised, and then again, you might not be surprised at how many Democrats are in favor of political assassinations and the assassination of Elon Musk, which they're very enthusiastic about. They're even more enthusiastic, Democrats are, about the assassination of Donald Trump. They're not good neighbors anymore, I think, these people. And because they love death more than we love life, boy, do they love death more than we love life, the Democrat Party not on the side of life. And that's helps to explain why they're pro-Houthi and pro-Hamas and pro-Hezbollah, pro-Ayatollah, not on our side at all. Really remarkable things. But here's a fun story on the same thread from the Breitbart news agency. Alex Marlow, colon. They love their colons. Sinister Democrats rebrand abortions. They've rebranded. They got to relabel it because, it's all about the manipulation of language. They learned this from the Soviet Union and the Chinese Communists and the North Koreans. And they're very much like the Soviet Union today. And I'm being generous, quite honestly. But here is the Democrats rebrand abortions. What did they rebrand them as, Michael? Because they're so clever. They're so crafty. They all went to Ivy League institutions, which are pretty funny, too. You see, Harvard University, they got a new program over there. But here's the Democrats rebrand abortions as, quote, averted births. Averted births. Oh, another birth averted. Another birth averted. The Democrats, they honestly, they're ghouls. Are they more ghouls or goblins? What do you think? But you guys, one of these days, you're going to have to stop calling everybody Nazis and just start wearing armbands and goose-stepping around together and chanting together as you so often do. Kind of like Munich in 1933. The Democrats are really, the American Democrat Party is more Munich 33 than we've ever seen in the United States of America, most certainly. But on Monday, on the Alex Marlow show, host and Breitbart editor-in-chief Alex Marlow discussed recent rhetoric on abortion from Democrats in Colorado, which is a beautiful state, but the left destroys everything that they touch, and that will include Colorado, certainly eventually, and it includes all kinds of, look at Wisconsin, look at Minnesota. That Tim Walz was out again yesterday. What, he's going, ordering turtle soup or alligator soup or something. He's got mental issues, too. Marlow stated a Colorado Democrat said birth is more expensive than abortion. And they're calling abortion now averted births. Averted births. And that's true. It's an averted birth.
That savings comes from the averted births that will not occur because abortions happened instead. So a birth is more expensive than an abortion. So the savings comes in Medicaid births that will not occur.
See, and that's a big savings. That's thrifty. Very, very thrifty. That is the Speaker of the Colorado House of Representatives, a Democrat by the name of Julie McCluskey. I assume she doesn't have any children. I'm just guessing. She's got a meat tenderizer in the kitchen. That pretty amazing stuff. It's less expensive, and it is a big cost saver. There's no doubt about that. So she's very thrifty. Finally, Democrats have found an area where they're interested in being thrifty. That's at the expense of human life and humanity. And just don't call her a Nazi. Just the pretty amazing people, these people.
That savings comes from the averted births that will not occur.
Yeah, they certainly won't, will they? No, they won't. Don't forget to harvest their organs because you guys, aren't they amazing? Yes, they are. They are extraordinary. So we've got, that's kind of, it would be funny if it weren't so ghoulish, but you know how they are. They're a nutty bunch. Nutty bunch. My brother Michael sent me that this morning. That's a wild one. We've got a new movie. There's a new movie out, and it's in theaters. In fact, Michael Piercy brought his 9-year-old son, Max, to the movies over the weekend to see this movie. He's still 9, right? Okay, he's 9. See, I'm pretty good at this. See? And he was not averted. He was not averted. And you took him to the movies over the weekend, and it's kind of fun. A movie movie that is out. And the kids, the kids, they're turning it into the Rocky Horror Picture Show or something. Jack Black is in this movie. He can be funny and is a bit mental, too. But the people going to see the movie are turning him into kind of Rocky Horror Picture Show, screaming, throwing stuff in the audience and chanting and having fun. The little kids, maybe not so much fun, but the more grown-up kids, that's a thing. That's a thing now. So that's it's pretty amazing, I got to say. And we've got a lot of stories for you. President Trump remains the big dog is one of our headlines. Trump orders 4-mile military. I love this story. Trump orders 4-mile military parade for his 79th birthday. This is the radical left-wing extremist. I assume they firebomb cars and shoot up dealerships and avert births at the Daily Beast. Trump orders 4-mile military parade for his 79th birthday. There's only one wrinkle in that headline, and that is basically the wrinkle is it's a huge fatuous fabrication, a lie, because the Daily Beast, they're a pack of liars, and they lie about everything all the time. If they're making noise, they're lying. Even when they're laying there silent, they're thinking lies because they're the left. When they're laying in bed at night with no one, because who would bed down with these people? They're just thinking silently, and their thoughts are lies. Kind of an amazing thing. And then it turns out, well, I'll explain the military parade, the 4-mile military parade for his birthday. The news media, I got to tell you, if they have credentials to get into any government buildings, they shouldn't anymore. They should just be, you should find a shredder and keep them near the entrances of government buildings. And when people from organizations, I'll be generous, call it an organization, I'm sure they're quite disorganized. When people from the Daily Beast show up, you just take their credentials, yank them off, probably have one of those metal beaded chains around their necks, and throw them into the shredder, because I got to tell you. But maybe the most amazing story is the poll, the survey, and this one is truly amazing, of Democrats, and they polled everybody, but the standout numbers come from the Democrats. Justification for murder of Elon Musk and Donald Trump. They were asked in a poll, in a survey, because this is where we are as a country, because the left is here. Keep in mind, the left, there is no more bloodthirsty gang of ghouls in the history of the world than the left. And the Democrat Party in the United States is the left now, because they're not liberals. They're certainly not conservatives. They're not pro-American. They're not on our side. But the justification for murder of Elon Musk and Donald Trump. Now, if you're for all respondents, we have one number. The murder of Elon Musk. 31.6% of Americans polled said, oh, yeah, there's justification for murdering Elon Musk. And if you're on the left, and this just says if you're left of center. So when you're filling out, when you're doing the survey, they ask you, are you left of center? Oh, sure, I'm left of center. Then how do you feel about the murder of Elon Musk or Donald Trump? Well, 48.6% of left of center people are in favor of murdering Elon Musk. Elon Musk, what is he? He's a car manufacturer. He's got a space program. He's the Leonardo da Vinci of our era. When it comes to Donald Trump, if you're left of center, 55.2% of people polled that self-describe as left of center are in favor of murdering Donald Trump. He's already been shot once, and how many people have been arrested? Well, one was shot and killed. It was a suicide attack in Butler, Pennsylvania. Another one arrested with a rifle outside his golf course in Florida. Another guy, I think he was in Idaho, he was arrested for plotting to assassinate. And so more than half of Democrats, that is Americans left of center, are in favor of assassinating, of murdering Donald Trump because, yeah. And then they asked him, are you in favor of destroying Tesla dealerships? Tesla dealerships. For Democrats, 57.6%, more than the number in favor of assassinating Donald Trump. Now, at what point does the Democrat Party find itself being rightly labeled a terrorist organization, gave us the Klan terrorist organization, the Students for a Democratic Society, the Symbionese Liberation Army, the Weather Underground. The Democrat Party is a violent criminal enterprise. Time we whipped out the RICO statutes on these people. RICO, Johnny. I'm telling you, so that's an amazing one, that poll. I've got the details on that coming up because it's a poll. It's very scientific. And we are at 888-630-9625.
Do you think it's time for Democrats to stop calling Trump a threat to democracy?
Listen, these are the facts. He is a threat. Period. Point blank.
Chris here with a list of things that none of us should trust. The Washington Post, the New York Times, anything on CNN. Here's a list of things that I do trust. The Washington Times. Support real journalism for just $1 a week at washingtontimes.com/Chris. Hey, we're back. Look at that. Wah, 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 wah. The Democrat Party is not what it used to be. Not even close, that's for sure. They're a wacky bunch. All right, let's go to a telephone call, Michael. Let's talk to the nice people out there in the real world in America. This ain't NPR. This is not CNN. We're on the side of truth, justice, and the American way, even though they stripped that off of the Superman comic books, no longer the American way. Let's go to Heck, calling from Bethesda, Maryland. Heck, you're on the Chris Plant Show.
Well, good morning, Chris. It's been a few weeks since I got on the air or anything worthy of being on the air, but you led off with about the abortions, saving people money. This could be a whole new ad campaign for Planned Parenthood. We pass the savings on to you. And does Planned Parenthood have like a loyalty members program, like 10 abortions and your next one's free? I don't know. Maybe get a free trip to the beach or something, an overnight stay at a hotel, because you're making more parking available and cutting down on the cost of everything, schools, and the Democrats. They get thrifty in the strangest areas, don't they? Heck, that's they sure do. You know, one time I looked up the number of African Americans killed by the Ku Klux Klan. Versus the number of abortions on African American babies, and the whole history of the KKK, Planned Parenthood exceeds that number in 4 days.
Well, I think that. Do you recall the number of the KKK? It's in the several thousand, I think, right?
Yeah, well, the Planned Parenthood put them out of business. So
well, that's for sure.
Terminating. Okay, I'll let you go to the commercials.
Yeah, and the homicide is an issue too. They should talk about that. Trying to figure out this morning who might be more unscrupulous, street prostitutes in Tijuana or Democrats in Washington, D.C., and we haven't sorted that out yet. But we have, in Washington, D.C., we have a mayor. We shouldn't, because home rule should be taken away from our nation's capital, and it should be, control of Washington, D.C. should be handed over to Congress, and they should, have a mental institution, which they closed down. We used to have a big mental institution called St. Elizabeth's. John Hinckley was there for years, who shot Ronald Reagan and tried to assassinate him and failed because he was Ronald Reagan, shot in the chest, and he walked it off. But he's no Democrat. But the just a remarkable Democrat Party. Now, they've come up with this fake story, a completely fraudulent, giant Soviet-style, North Korean, Chinese communist kind of lie. The Daily Beast is advancing this lie. The headline is, Trump orders 4-mile military parade for his 79th birthday. That's the headline from these left-wing radicals at the Daily Beast. And it's like, wow, he's got on his birth. That is, he's a dictator. He's Hitler. They like this. And the majority of Democrats believe that he should be assassinated, according to a brand new poll. And then the dimwits at a local station, Washington, D.C., Trump birthday military parade reportedly in early stages. It's your dementia is in early stages, unlike Joe Biden's dementia, which is in advanced stages. A military parade to celebrate President Donald Trump's birthday is reportedly in the works. It's a long-held dream that the president tried to make happen in his first term. This is say they know what's going on in his mind, what his thinking is. D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser addressed the potential parade plans on Monday. That's yesterday, saying they're all in the early stages. The proposed parade would stretch from Arlington, that's in Virginia, where the Pentagon and Arlington National Cemetery are located, across the Potomac River and into D.C., the story says. So far, the plans have been denied by the White House. Well, then why are you writing the story? The Associated Press reports that the administration said in a statement that, quote, no military parade has been scheduled, end quote. All right? So Trump's birthday, Trump will turn 79 years old on June 14th. Now, the date also happens to be Flag Day. Wait a minute. And it's also the 250th anniversary of the United States Army. Wow. I guess that's what the extremely mentally impaired, that is to say any Democrat, would call quite a coincidence. Isn't that amazing? And I think we have Muriel Bowser, the mayor of Washington, D.C., who should be, she should step down because there should be no city government. They have, hey, where's Trayon White? He hates the Jews. And he's he was actually kicked off the city council, but he's going to run again and he's going to win. Here's the mayor of Washington, D.C., Muriel Bowser, about the fictitious fantasy world, demented fake news story that the Democrats are peddling now. D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser.
It's at its early stages. Yes, they have reached out. I don't know if it's being characterized as a military parade.
I don't know if it's being characterized as a military parade. Well, it's the 250th birthday of the United States Army. In a year, where we're getting ready. We got the Marine Corps. We're going to have the anniversary of the founding of the United States Marine Corps as well. And then we're going to have the 250th anniversary of the creation of the United States. And that wasn't in 1619, as some of these extremely mentally ill academics have conjured up. Muriel Bowser is the mayor of Washington, D.C.
Military tanks on our streets would not be good. If military tanks were used, they should be accompanied with many millions of dollars to repair the roads.
Shakedown, total shakedown. They're just racketeers. They're gangsters. Hey, could be millions in here for this, and I can get a boat and maybe a house on where would they? Deep Creek Lake. Maybe get on Deep Creek Lake. So the just amazing. President Trump turned 79 years old on June 14th, but coincidentally, it's Flag Day, which is an annual event. Democrats usually burn American flags, but they bring Hamas flags and they bring Nazi flags. I think these people, I got to say, what are they bringing? Mexican flags. Remember at the Hillary Clinton convention in Philadelphia, in the arena there in Philadelphia, they didn't bring any American flags, not one, but there were Mexican flags and Palestinian flags inside the hall. And that was even before they became all in with radical Islamic jihad. But yeah, it's coincidentally, it's Trump's 79th birthday, June 14th. Is 79 a particularly relevant age to become? But it is the 250th anniversary of the U.S. Army, and it is not coincidentally Flag Day. And on the 250th anniversary, leading up to the 250th anniversary of the United States of America, there might be celebrations, but the Democrats see Flag Day, they just want lighter fluid and a Zippo lighter. so they can burn American flags, which is what they do. Isn't that amazing? These people. The Democrat Party is not what it used to be, and it's not really a legitimate political party at this point. They're just firebombing the political enemies of the Democrat Party like Elon Musk and his company and all that good stuff. Just amazing. And the radical left-wing extremists at Politico, they should be denied access to government buildings with credentials as well. White House denies a military parade is scheduled for Trump's birthday. Washington area officials say the administration has reached out, though, and they're a festering boil on the buttocks of humanity, the American news medias, and perhaps Lansing is the not the city in Michigan, but the medical procedure is the way to go here. The White House is denying reports that it plans to hold a military parade in Washington on President Donald Trump's birthday in June. I like a nice military parade in Washington. We had a great one at the end of the Persian Gulf War a long time ago now, 1991. That was good. I was in the middle of that one. That was real good. They brought an F-16 in on a trailer, and it got snagged on a tree by the Lincoln Memorial. That was kind of tough. It was on a vehicle, though. It didn't fly through or anything like that. Democrat Party. Washington Mayor Muriel Bowser and Takis Kanatokas, the chair of Virginia's Arlington County Board on Monday, confirmed discussions with administration officials about plans for military parade this summer. And they're like, well, it's the 250th anniversary of the Army. It's Flag Day. We're leading up to the 250th anniversary of the United States of America when we declared independence from the British Crown and started the end of monarchy in Europe, which was a really good thing to do. The Enlightenment brought to life by us. You're welcome. And the Democrat Party is just, it is a mental illness. Not only do a lot of them suffer from mental illness, but the party itself, it turns out, is a kind of mental illness. Boy, they're truly something. These people, can I just say, Yeah, and I apologize. It's a fairly grim open to the at hour one of the show, I've got to say. But the Supreme Court weighed in yesterday with a lot of good stuff, too. Chief Justice of the United States, that's his title, John Roberts. Chief Justice of the United States, John Roberts, halts deadline for deported Maryland man's return from El Salvador. The Democrat Party sees an El Salvadoran illegal alien gang member in the United States, and they rally around him, burn the American flag, set a Tesla on fire, and then say, we got to get that guy back here to shack up with my daughter because, we love illegal alien gang members. The Supreme Court on Monday temporarily blocked an order to return a Maryland man who was mistakenly, this is the media narrative, who was mistaken. Now we have a soundbite of the White House press secretary on this, Caroline Leavitt, because this just keeps coming up over and over again. And I told you about the confidential informant in 2019 informing the police that the guy is an MS-13 member. And then he was picked up again in a Home Depot parking lot where a group of MS-13 members were being picked up. And again, he was identified as a member of MS-13. He did impregnate a woman in the United States of America. And now the child is about 5 years old. But all that is after being identified in 2019 as a member of MS-13, the Salvadoran gang. But the Supreme Court Monday, that's yesterday, temporarily blocked an order to return a Maryland man who was mistakenly deported to a prison in El Salvador last week. Chief Justice John Roberts said U.S. District Judge Paula Zinis, X-I-N-I-S, overstepped her authority, must be a Democrat, when she ordered that Kilmar Armando Abrego Garcia, too many names for a man, be returned to the U.S. We'll drop him off in your second floor spare bedroom. The Trump administration said Abrigo Garcia should not have been sent to El Salvador because an immigration judge found he likely would face persecution by local gangs. You know, and this gang member, and the thing is, you know, they said, oh, we're sending MS-13 gang members back to El Salvador. And MS-13 gang members are being targeted by members of another gang that is not MS-13. Therefore, you can't send Salvadoran gang members back to El Salvador because it's too dangerous. And the Democrats say, we want that here. That's what we want the danger to be here. And we've got the trial going on in Maryland right now, right? An illegal alien, and he who raped and murdered Rachel Morin, a mother of 5 in Maryland, who went out for a jog. And the Democrats are like, well, we want to see more of that. So you will know them by their deeds, by their actions. But he's no longer in U.S. custody, and the government has no way to get him back, the administration argued. I'm not sure if that's entirely true. Zenas, the judge, gave the administration until just before midnight. You got till midnight. I wonder if she a transgender judge? Is she an Obama judge? Just before midnight to, quote, facilitate and effectuate. They put that in quotation marks at the news story, Channel 10, WJAR. Facilitate and effectuate Abreu Garcia's return because the Democrats will fight hammer and sickle to get more gang members in the United States, you know, from Latin America, because our gang members are apparently not up to the standards of the Democratic Party. An Obama appointee, naturally. Okay. See, that's shocking, isn't it? So the Democrat Party is, what's the turn of phrase, Michael? Oh, they're not on our side. That's the fact. They're not on our side. But the Supreme Court jumped in, and the Democrats are very angry about this. And, in fact, one Republican woman member of the court sided with the left-wing radicals. It was not a 6-3 decision. It was a 5-4 decision by the Supreme Court to allow President Trump, and this is an interesting one, too, to allow President Trump to continue to enforce and use the Alien Enemies Act for the rapid deportation of illegal alien gang members from the United States of America. And the Democrats are angry about this. They might burn your Tesla. Isn't that amazing? Supreme Court is very upset. CNN is very upset. Supreme Court allows Trump to enforce Alien Enemies Act for rapid deportation for now. The headline, that's the headline. Because CNN is fighting for more illegal alien gang members to be in the United States, as the illegal alien gang member that raped and murdered a mother of 5 in Maryland, Rachel Morin, is on trial even as we speak. The Democrats, I don't know, and then we'll spend millions to put the illegal alien in prison, and he'll cause harm in prison, and the Democrats will pat themselves on the back. They'll break their arms patting themselves on the back. So the Supreme Court on Monday also allowed President Trump to enforce the Alien Enemies Act for now, CNN writes, handing the White House a significant victory, upsetting CNN, that will let immigration officials rely on a sweeping wartime authority to rapidly deport alleged gang members. They want to have, like the Harvard Law School facility, made available to every one of the illegal alien gang members. Wah, wah, wah. Yeah, but the Supreme Court coming down, President Trump's favor, is going to be allowed to invoke the 1798 law to speed the removals, while litigation over the act's use plays out in lower courts, with the Democrats venue shopping with radical left-wing Obama and Biden and Clinton judges who are not on our side. Remarkable stuff, but big wins from. I got a Poison Ivy League story out of Harvard for you today, too. Made me laugh. In the state of Maryland, they have a Democrat governor by the name of Wes Moore. Wes Moore. Like Les Moore, Wes Moore. Wes Moore, and nobody asked him, but he's announcing now. Wes Moore, quote, not running for president in 2028. Whenever somebody announces in 2025 that they're definitely not running for president in 2028, that ordinarily means that they're planning on running for president in 2028, because Democrats, they're not truth tellers or anything, but he sat down with the Baltimore Sun, which is a newspaper in Baltimore, Maryland, and said, no, not running for president in 2028. The Democrats, they love. He's an African-American guy. He served in the Army. He went to Afghanistan, and that narrows it down quite rapidly when it comes to the Democrat Party. And the Democrats really like, because he's a black guy, they really liked Barack Obama. They worship he can slow the rise of the oceans. He can heal the planet. He is a deity of sorts. But when a Democrat governor like Wes Moore, and he has political skills, too, he has political talents, and the Democrat Party will tell him what he's doing. He doesn't get to decide whether he's running for president or not. They will decide for him. They'll tell him where to stand, what to say, and whether he's running for president or not. But right now, according to the Baltimore Sun at least, he's saying, oh, no, I'm not running for president in 2028. And because the Democrat Party is what the Democrat Party is, you can be pretty sure that that means that he is running for president in 2028. And then you've got this guy, I've never been a huge fan of, Stephen A. Smith at ESPN. You know, he's a sports guy, and he's very opinionated, and that's fine. He's wrong about most things, maybe almost everything, but he's occasionally right about something. Stephen A. Smith, broadcaster, sports guy. Stephen A. Smith, quote, leaving all doors open, end quote, for presidential bid, because it's all a terrible television show. It's a cable television show. It's all a horrible, terrible cable television show, and now he's talking about running for president. The Democrat Party died.